diamonds alert. Still trapping, still drug addicts, mathematics, keep the ratchet.
Time. Hey, what's going on, Mo? Hope all is well, bro. Got these demon police out here playing that bullshit. Speaking of the devil. Speaking of the motherfucking devil. Literally. You notification when I post videos on my channel. I don't get no notifications, bro. Like literally, only notifications I get are like other types of channels that I'm subscribed to, like prank channels or some shit like that. But as far as targeted individuals, I'll get your guys' notification, but it'll be like hours later. When freaks come out at night, yeah. Yep. This is why these are my hours, man, because I can always, I know damn near everybody out here on the streets right now are perks. And give or take a few, couple. But, any sensible person is either at work or fucking at home, sleep. Hey, what's going on, Ross? I think I think I caught you. I'm watching as. Oh, okay. Hopefully SHP is doing good as well as you guys. As always, considering the bullshit. One third I haven't felt, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm starting to see that, man, and I'm starting to highly believe, like, their bloodline is really, really, it's like they've been hiding. Like, I guess to a TI that's been a TI before me, they was doing their thing back then, but, as far as for me, like, how you hear something, but if you don't experience it, it doesn't, it has value to it, but it doesn't have as much value to it unless you experience it. And that's where I was with like the fallen angels and shit. I knew it was biblical, and it was definitely a possibility that they were down here and shit. But with all this fucking technology, with these people, the way they interact with each other, their facial expressions and everything else that come with them, it's like God is opening my eyes to the shit. Like the shit I was doubting, like God is really opening my nice to that shit. And that shit, it's a lot to fucking take in, man. So that 1/3 of the angels that fell, I'm definitely in agreement with that now, for sure, for sure. Everything else, I can only be sure of God. I can only be sure that God is real. Everything else that they fucking thrown into my fucking face, and as well as everybody else's, but I don't knock how anybody takes what they take as far as faith goes. But for me, they just fucking, they fucking put their hands and mixed up too much fucking shit for me to believe anyone's story or any shit that they put out there. Because, even though some of it's real, they've watered it down and they've stolen shit and they've hidden shit and certain shit doesn't correlate with other shit. So but that 1/3 of angels don't. That shit, I'm starting to see that shit. I should be sub to your channel. You know what? That's probably what they do. I gotta go back to a lot of people that, you know what? I just thought about it. No, but some I get them later. Some I get later though. But they might be unsubscribing me from some people. Cause I do notice my account, my shit be all fucked up, like in my music. Like that's why I quit. I quit even fucking, putting playlists in my fucking YouTube and shit because, they go in that motherfucker and get the fucking playing Edward Scissorhands and switching shit all up. It's crazy the shit they do, man. Like shit that should be like that's like federal fucking. I know it's not as severe as people's mail and all that shit, but fucking with people's shit, like, that should be damn near like some federal shit, man. Um, hey, what's going on, Rusty? You said okay. Well, then go. Some gangstalkers aren't human, they are shapeshifters, reptilians, some normal people, TIs need to know this. Yeah, I believe that as well, man, because it's legitimate, you guys. I believe that as well because, I've ran up to some cars like the one headlight bandits to ask them like why they were fucking following me and shit. And a lot of people seen this one lady, man. And this lady, she had on sunglasses, but you could tell she just, I asked her why she's following me. She looked at me, she turned her head really fucking slow and said, almost like a fucking robot, but her voice was normal, but it was like fucking cold, man. And when she looked at me, she had no expression on her face. She said, "I'm not following you, sir." Like she did, she had it, cause I was like, I was pissed off. You feel me? And this is a, I don't want to say young, but she's probably like in her fucking 20s and shit. Given she might know some fucking judo or some shit like that, but you know, the way she looked at me and turned her head real slow like that, fucking, and this was at a fucking gas station. This was at a fucking gas station, like, fucking, I went to go get gas. She pulled in with her one headlight, and I ran up to her car, and I'm like, why the fuck do you guys keep? As a matter of fact, I think I had the camera. I did have the camera because people commented on, look at the booty bandit. He just had to come glide and show his little butt, even though he got a trench coat. Just pucker his little butt out and do a U-turn and pucker his little butt out. But yeah, she pulled in with her one headlight, and like I was pissed, so I grabbed the camera and I'm like, why the fuck do you keep following me and shit? And she just turned real fucking slow and said, I'm not following you, sir. And she had this cold fucking, like, she left me feeling like creepy and shit. Like, it was something creepy about that lady, man. It was something real creepy about her. I didn't quite think she was a fucking shapeshifter or anything. I just thought she was a fucking clone or some shit like that. Or just some fucking, you know, mentally ill person. But she was in a nice fucking car, though. But she gave me the fucking feeling like she was a clone, like she just had no emotion, no soul, like she didn't fucking jump as I'm fucking walking to the car, and she had a little drop top too. It was a drop top fucking Beamer, and I'm walking up to her fucking car, and I'm like, why the fuck? And like my voice is a little bit higher pitched. You know, this is like, I don't want to say the beginning of my targeting, but this is like, or this is like probably when I had like my very first van and shit. This is like the third van, so this is like the very almost like the tip. I probably say a quarter into my gang stalking and shit. So I was still kind of, you know, I knew how it worked, but I was still kind of like my pride was a lot fucking more than what it is now. Like, but yeah, man, that shit was shit was spooky, man. Shit was spooky as fuck. So I definitely believe like there's different fucking entities. Like, you know, I was at one point thinking like they were some type of fucking entity. Like that's why they're fucking letting us live and shit. Like, cause I can't see fucking, like maybe they need to fucking, like this is where my head was going. Like maybe they need to fucking chase us around and fucking harass us to fucking survive off our fucking energy and shit. Like maybe they have to fucking load up on energy off of us to survive on the planet and shit. Like that's where I was going with this shit. You know, as well as these fucking, you know, these street towers and the cell towers and the fucking all this shit. It just seems like it's something, cause we wouldn't fucking like put some on the planet that's gonna fucking harm us and shit. Like, and I could see maybe overlooking a few things and shit because it doesn't do so much damage. But you motherfuckers try and tell us that, you know, we can't smoke weed or, you know, whoever does what the fuck they do, methamphetamines and all that other shit, coke, fucking heroin. Like you guys banned everybody from doing that shit, but and you say it's for our fucking protection and shit. Yeah, you guys got us fucking in a booby trap full of bullshit. Like all of our necessities to fucking live have been contaminated. Contaminated. Our water, our fucking air, our fucking food. Everything's fucking poison. And you guys have the fucking nerve to tell us like smoking weed was fucking illegal. Like how dare you motherfuckers say fucking smoking weed is illegal when you, cause it'll make us flip out. Yeah, you got 5G and you got motherfuckers throwing their kids in the microwave, fucking zombified and shit. Like, and then you blame it on them. After your technology fucking flipped them out, you blame it on them. Like, how, how dare you say something bad about marijuana, you fucking piece of shit motherfuckers. And now that you've made marijuana legal, you want to contaminate that shit. It's crazy, man. But that's the fucking matrix we live in, man. Nothing makes sense. That's why they get it and we don't. I love all you got. Alright, back at you, Rose. Back at you. Hey, what's going on, Alan? Creator of all is real. Yeah, manufactured. Yeah, that's what you know, I used to be real interested in that shit. Motherfucking, you know, people who said they had dreams that God was talking to them and that they fucking, you know, like I used to be real interested in it. That shit's like wrestling to me now. It's like WWF or WWE. That shit's just, you know, you got people on there faking and shit. And then you got people who've been fucking infiltrated. They've had their fucking heads infiltrated with the voice of God and now visions of God since they can fucking illustrate your dreams and shit. So, fuck, man. It's like, who the fuck the fucking, like, you can't. And even some of the real shit, like, you know, we're not, we're not created to fucking be able to fucking detour every fucking booby trap they throw out as far as truth goes. Like, there's just no fucking way in the world. Like, everything, like that shit they want to do with the kids and throw them in re-education camps and shit like that. That shit is fucking real. Like, there are gonna be some parts of the history that we knew that, you know, when our kids grow up, they're gonna know nothing about. Like, they're gonna completely wipe that shit out. Like, especially once they get rid of the books. Once they get rid of the books and they get rid of all the older people and they constantly make us stupid and shit. And fucking all the older people stupid because that's all they're doing is making us stupid off this fucking technology. And they're gonna fucking, you know, it's gonna be bad for the generations to come. They're gonna be able to implement anything they want to implement. It's gonna be real bad. It's gonna be really fucking bad, man. And they're on their way. They're on their way right now. Full force ahead. Trying to be funny, you goofy. You see, you got people stealing bikes all night. That's all I be seeing. Fucking this time in the morning, you see fucking people stealing bikes and shit. Real fucking crimes going on. But he's trying to be funny with that shit. He's trying to be a gang stalker. But you know, that's all you see all night. You be seeing motherfuckers with nice ass bikes, specialized fucking, like, it's real crimes being committed. Then you be seeing, you know, I'll be recycling, so I find little merchandises and things, and then I'll take a quick walk through in the park, and you know, people in the park pretty much know me as fucking having merchandise for sale that I find. So, you know, I get people to come buy some things and then I'll take off and shit. And then I'll, you know, as I'm fucking selling whatever I find, like this shit right here. You know, this it's like fucking garbage to me. But it's a brand new fucking, it's brand new. It ain't been open. It's a Star Wars fucking puzzle thing. Like somebody's gonna buy it tomorrow just because it's a fucking brand new, and they could probably sell it for more than what I'm gonna sell it to them for. But as I'm doing that shit, I be seeing motherfuckers all in the park selling specialized bikes and shit for like like 40 and I swear, like, and if I wasn't targeted, and honestly, I can't even lie, like, if I wasn't targeted, and well, nah, I probably wouldn't do it now. I probably wouldn't do it, but they be up in the. I wouldn't steal the bikes and shit, but like the prices they be selling those fucking bikes in there, like they be like $1,000 bikes, fucking 1,200, $1,500 bikes. They be up in the park selling that shit for like $40. I be like, damn, man. And these motherfuckers chasing me around. I'm fucking I'm fucking recycling, and they trying to shut me the fuck down, like doing anything, like throwing booby traps out there, trying to entrap me and shit. And these motherfuckers riding around with stolen bikes, fucking breaking in houses and shit, coming out with fucking. You be seeing motherfuckers walking down the street with TVs and shit, putting them in the bushes, and then running down the street to get a shopping cart and a blanket and shit. It should be like so fucking funny, man. It's crazy. And I know some of it be fucking street theater, but a lot of that shit be for real, man. That shit be for real as fuck, man. You gotta love it though, man. You gotta love it, man. Or else you're gonna fucking go crazy, man. They're out here creating crimes. These motherfuckers out here creating crimes. Fuck stopping crimes. We're gonna create crimes. You wanna defund us? We're gonna go super hard and create even more fucking crimes and go hard. I think that's why they're going harder as well, like because that defunding shit, like they want people to fucking succumb to them and fucking beg them to stay on and shit like that. So they throw a little fucking blackmail shit out there. We're not gonna be able to report. We're not gonna take any call. Like, and then they're letting the criminals know as well. We're not gonna be responding to fucking thefts, burglaries, fucking shit. That's probably why a lot of people going on sprees too. That's probably a lot of the reason. But they've been doing it ever since before that, though. But yeah, man, it's just crazy, man. Blackmailing people out here creating crimes and shit, like just like the Black Lives Matter march when they were, they had bricks out there. It was police fucking bombing, or not bombing, but lighting fucking buildings on fire and shit, like having fucking and the person, where who I think they threw a bomb in one place, or they fucking somehow they had a special tool which cut into the wall from the outside of shit that they do for like this big bust and shit, like the ATF and like that federal shit where they, if you're doing some type of big time shit, they had that special tool to cut into your house and shit, and they used that shit at one of those stores. I think it was if I'm not mistaken, like one of those Kragen Auto Parts or AutoZone. Yeah, Autos. It was AutoZone. They fucking cut into AutoZone with a perfect fucking tool and shit. The dude said there's no way a regular citizen could have did that. It wouldn't have even wasted their time on fucking doing that shit. Yeah, it's crazy, man. They're doing the same thing out here. Especially with us as targeted individuals. We're the lucky ones because we know. we know we're targeted. The unlucky ones are the ones that don't know they're targeted, and they really think like people are, you know, just like the story goes, how we used to hear people say people are following them, and it's all this fucking bullshit, man. People don't be thinking that shit. Not no fucking normal human being don't think that shit. These are made up fucking illnesses that they fucking created, and they know how to fucking induce them. Like they know, they know how to navigate a motherfucker's whole fucking consciousness, man. Like I know this program, not inside out, but I know it enough to know that this fucking program is fucking does that to people. Cause even though I know, like they still in a way fucking guide my consciousness. Like it's no fucking, for a person that doesn't know, it's really fucked up, man. It's that much worse on them. That much fucking worse. Like the lady that drove into the fucking White House and said Obama was in her head. Or the other dude that fucking ran a big rig into the fucking state capitol in Sacramento. Just ran through the fucking at full speed. The whole fucking tried to run into the fucking he tried to run into the building, but the fucking stairs or some trees or some shit stopped him though. He was stopped before he could actually make it, but he did his damnedest to run into that motherfucker, man. And this ain't shit that people do, man. This ain't shit that we're being, and I'm slowly beginning to realize that now that I'm fucking understanding what they do to us. Like when they want some shit to be passed, some laws to be passed, or some fucking shit like that. Like they get into the, I don't want to say weak-minded person, but they get into the minds of people with less guard over their mind. Like people, people that would never think anything like this is possible, or people who can instantly be fucking, converted through fucking messaging and triggers and shit. Like, it's some cold shit, man. It's some cold fucking shit, man. And we deal with this shit every day because we know. But just think, as long as we've been going through this shit, just think if we didn't know, like, if we didn't know what we was going through, just think how many of us would have flipped out. I know I would have been flipped out if I didn't know the police were behind it and trying to fucking set me up and entrap me. I would have did somebody way wrong. I would end my pride and all that fucking shit. And you know, when you know that the police are involved within it and they're trying to get you locked up, that should calm you way the fuck down. You'll be forced to fucking calm down, especially if you've been to those places and you don't want to go back. You'll be, you'll. Excuse me, that's legitimate. You'll fucking, you'll chill for a bit. That shit just makes you want to fucking, it makes you want to study the program and fucking, it makes you want to understand what the fuck they're doing. There's not one person on these fucking streets that ain't a TI that I trust, man. Not one fucking person. That's how much they've changed my fucking reality. Which maybe that's a good thing in some ways. Maybe that's a good thing. But, that's how far they've gotten to my whole fucking consciousness. Like, I don't, if you're not a TI, I don't trust you. I might stop for a minute and shoot the shit, cause I don't know completely if you're a perp or not, but as far as fucking getting to know you and trying to make friends and shit, I'm cool on all that. Like, if you don't want to buy no fucking merchandise or no shit like that, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Like, literally, you have to have a TI stamp on you for me to even fucking take you serious. And that's crazy. Just the fact knowing anybody can be flipped, like, nobody would fucking ever be able. I never fucking divulged any fucking secrets or anything like that out to anybody, anyways, or no shit like that. Like, I never trusted anybody like that, but I still won't. I won't anything about anything other than targeting anything that's not fucking. Yeah, I don't even want to talk to nobody if they ain't talking to me. I don't want to be around. Like, I take a great fucking deal of fucking. I take a. How do you say it? Not that I'm an antisocial person, because I'm not. I'm not antisocial, so I don't want to throw that label on myself. But because I do converse with TIs, but as far as making any friends other than, like, being isolated, some people see that as a punishment, man. But for me, man, that shit is like a fucking. It's a delicacy, not having to be around fucking. Having your mind dancing around if this motherfucker's perping you or fucking all that shit. I just cut that shit from the fucking. You know, it's a delicacy. Maybe that's because I'm out here and fucking. They hit me hard anyway, so I just don't want to be around anybody. But still, like, even if I had like if I had a house or something, like, other than the motherfuckers breaking in and shit, and TIs and shit, like, it wouldn't be nobody. Like, I wouldn't have no fucking visitors or no shit like that. I wouldn't have no fucking visitors. I would, motherfuckers would just see me coming and going. The landlord would be fucking. I would have a happy fucking landlord. That's for fucking sure. No complaint other than the fucking bullshit complaints from the perps. And that takes you into a whole different zone, though. It takes, being in a house, or, being in a, having you a homestead or whatever you want to call it. That's another thing. Like, that's probably the complaints that they would get. Like, that's probably the landlord would get those types of complaints. Because if I had people fucking trying to keep me up and asleep by banging on walls and shit, I'm gonna wait till they go to sleep, then I'm gonna start fucking banging on walls and shit. And I'm gonna do everything. I'll be like, I'm gonna give them their time, and then when it's time for them to come to sleep, go to sleep, I'm on the same time as them. You want to blaze your lawnmowers and shit? Alright, what time is it? 2 o'clock in the morning, since all you motherfuckers is involved. I'm finna turn on the fucking music. I'm finna get out there and fucking cut some grass. Police come, I'm gonna tell them to give me my fucking ticket and go ahead about their business. And fucking, I'm gonna just keep on doing it. You want to play with me? I'll play with you too. Fair exchange, no robbery. That type of shit, like shit that is not like legal shit. That well, I wouldn't completely say it's legal, but that's the type of shit like that's where all my aggressive pride and all that shit, like that's where all my fucking pride would fucking it would be very bad because I would be aiming, like I would try and figure out new ways to make them mad. Like, okay, I would build off their fucking anger. Just like they build off of our anger, I would build off of theirs. Okay, I know this ticks them off. Let me add this with it. Since they don't like this, they don't like the lawnmower. I'm gonna add some fucking rock and roll, some death metal. I don't even like that shit, but I'm gonna add some fucking death metal to it. Not only that, I'm gonna set the fucking speakers outside. Not only that, I'm gonna point it at their fucking house. I get real fucking vindictive on them. Real fucking. So maybe it's a good thing that I'm not fucking, but they would definitely, they would have to call the police, come do something violent to me, or fucking stop what it is that they're doing and harass me on some fucking keep it at words and fucking you're fucking following me around. Follow me around, talk all the shit you want, but you start doing that fucking direction through entertainment or some fucking street theater, I'm gonna do the same fucking shit. And I'm gonna try and do it better. Cause a lot of these motherfuckers ain't smart. They just using the fucking they're doing what they're doing, but they're not fucking they have no creative their creative mind. Like they have to be directed in everything that they do. Or else they just don't do it right. And they still don't even do it. Like these people have to literally be walked on a leash. Like you have to constantly teach you. Like that's why they hire stupid motherfuckers, because you have to be stupid to fuck around and go around harassing people and setting fire to dynamite and shit. Like people who've been harassed for years, you still going around harassing them, and you've been harassing them just as long as they've been being harassed. A lot of them. So it's like you guys know what you're doing. You gotta be pretty fucking stupid. You gotta be stupid, like anybody in their right mind would know. Okay, I've been harassing this motherfucker for 11 years. It's about time that, especially after that VTA incident. Yeah, I've been harassing this motherfucker for 11 years, and it might not have been me. It might have been somebody else, but he's been going through this for 11 years. And a lot of them be playing it close. Not saying that I'm about to do it. Well, sometimes I feel like it, but not saying playing it close is I'm gonna do something to them, but playing it close is like they get too fucking involved with the shit and try and get all up close and personal and shit, like on some fucking perp shit, like fucking booty all on your fucking damn near car door, fucking ass with fucking briefs looking like G-string and shit, like grown men. And that's enough to make, somebody who hasn't, that's enough to make somebody who, that is enough to make somebody who hasn't been targeted ever a day in their life, fucking hop out and do some fucking tremendous, horrendous fucking shit to you. So, being a target, going through it for so long, it's a blessing that some of these people need to count. because they be playing it real close. And obviously, they don't believe in God, even the ones that go to church. Even the ones that say they do. Like, those people have been infiltrated by demons. If not their, if not them being the infiltration themselves and shit, which most of them are. Most of those pastors and preachers is infiltrators, or they fucking hide the truth and fucking teach you to be submissive through the fucking Bible. Like, they detour the whole meaning and they teach you how to be submissive. They use it as a tool to keep people submissive. Yeah, let the government run through your fucking. Let the government do anything it wants to you. Oh man, using the Bible to promote fucking political incorporation. Using the Bible to promote political and incorporation, criminal acts and shit. That's all you hear these fucking politicians do is quote the Bible. Or use it for some fucking, bullshit in God. Like, using the dollar for in God we trust. Like, who the fuck wants to see? What the fuck does a dollar, the root to all evil? Why would you put in God we trust on a fucking dollar bill? And what the fuck does in God, like, what does God have to do with money? Why don't you put that shit on a sign next to a tree? Put in God we trust on a sign next to a tree or some, put it in a habitat where there's some extinct animals or some shit like that. Like, that's what God is. God is like nature. Like, God ain't for no fucking money. Like, that's totally the fucking opposite of fucking God. So why would you fucking put that shit on that fucking shit? Like, what the fuck is going on with the world? I think that if I'm not mistaken, I think that's on. And then they got some devil shit. They what? Oh man, this shit just this is the type of shit, like, this is what the fuck, how the fuck, like, the world was backwards before I was even put on this planet. Like, the world was fucking backwards before I hit the planet. Like, how the fuck do you put some devil shit with the one eye and that whatever that shit is, that satanic fucking Greek shit is, and then you put fucking in God we trust on it as well. Like, and we the stupid people, we don't think about shit like that. Not saying anybody is stupid, but the average person doesn't think like that. I just thought about that literally, just fucking, I, as far as the God, in God we trust, and the devil shit. Like, I knew they both was on there, but I didn't put it. I didn't. That's how slow I was to it. Like, I didn't, come to the fact that that shit is on the same fucking piece of fucking paper. Like, that's just crazy. And that's how they get shit past us and shit. Like, we'll know shit, but it's just certain shit that, it's in our subconscious. And that's just how our minds work. There are some people that can beat that. There are some people, everybody ain't the same, but a lot of people, as far as our thinking patterns and all that shit go, even though they might not be on the same, journey or whatever like that, we take shit in the same. Like, the human mind takes shit in the same. Just like we ain't the same color, but some of us, might be white, black, Asian, Mexican, Chinese. Like we're not the same color, but you know, we don't have the same culture, but we all got hands and shit. Like we all got feet. We all got, we all take shit in the same. And so that's just how shit works on us. Like it beats us down in our subconscious. Like we could see something and we'll remember what we saw, but certain shit just ain't gonna. It's just fucking been buried. It's been meant to be buried in our subconsciousness. Like this is fucking psychological attacks on us, and we don't even know. But the people who have studied the mind, they know exactly what the fuck they're doing. Thus, we're all in this fucking situation we're in right now. Not just the targeted individuals, which everybody's targeted, but not just the victims of this fucking gang stalking, predictive policing, and whatever else they want to call it. I remember back when I was a kid, when people they went to baseball games or especially like the movies and shit, um, the drive-ins, movies, baseball games, fucking, cause you know, I know this and shit because I was in, when I was a kid, I was in group homes and shit, so we used to take little fucking passes and shit, like, what they used to call them, activities. We go on activities and shit, and they take us to, like, they get, like, donated fucking tickets and shit, and they take us to, like, baseball games or, the drive-ins, they take us to all these places and shit, and they used to flick, like, they used to flick the Coca-Cola. They used to flick the Coca-Cola shit on the screen really, really fast. Like it'd be like your subconscious would take it in. Like you would even see it. You would even see it on the screen, but it would only be for like a quick second and shit. And it'd be like it'll look like the damn tape is malfunctioning or something. Like it'll look like it's something malfunctioning, especially like at the movie theaters. You just see it flicking real fast on the thing with a bunch of dots and lines and all this fucking bullshit. And that shit, they say that shit used to make people like subconsciously go buy fucking. It was to make you fucking buy. It was to make you buy Coca-Cola and shit like that. And see that type of shit right there. As fucked up as it is, to make you go spend money that you don't want to spend, as fucked up as that is, that's just on a small level of how fucked up they can get with that technology, based on what they know, based on how they know, or based on the fact that they know how the human mind takes shit in. Like they can make people perform murders. They can make people do all types of shit. They can keep people stuck into fucking realities that is really bad. Man. Like it's not just the fucked up shit they do. It's not just that fucked up shit, because that fucked up shit is gonna lead more to more fucked up shit and more fucked up shit and more fucked up shit. If you don't nip it in the bud, like this program right here has become a monster. In the 10 years, I still go through the same fucking shit. Like in the 10, 11 years I've been going through it. But they have some shit, they have some shit. during this, even though it's the same shit and nothing's really fucking changed except the amounts of fucking pressure, or how, how they can change the weather, like how they can calm down some days or they can go super hard other days and shit. They haven't really introduced anything new, and they have a whole arsenal of shit that we haven't even seen yet. There's a whole arsenal of shit, all types of toys they want to use on us, all types of shit. So, like I said, man, this program is only gonna become more and more of a beast until it's uncontrollable. And when it's uncontrollable, it's gonna be really all bad, because it is just gonna be them or us. That's when it's gonna be civil war by then. I think that's the only way this program is gonna stop. I think targeted in the, their leader, they're literally leading us into a civil war. That's the only way. You know, not too many TIs are gonna, you know, as we should. Well, I'm not gonna say as we should, because we should be going up against them. Like, we should fucking take to the streets like fucking Black Lives Matter, or even fucking, I say, do it in a peaceful way. But we need to unite. We either fucking do it in a peaceful way, or we do it in a violent way. Like, I don't care. Like, as long as I've been going through this shit, like, I don't care however we do it. I just want to fucking do it. But, it's either gonna be fucking that, or, which, most likely none of us is gonna go fucking to the White House, or not White House, but the city halls and all that shit. And when I say violent way, I don't mean killing people or no shit. I'm talking about lighting shit on fire and busting windows and that type of shit. I shouldn't say violent. I should say aggressive. Do it in an aggressive way. But it's either gonna be that, which it's most likely not gonna be. Like, we'll go up against citizens. I believe that. Like, I believe we'll reach our points to where, because, just like the Coca-Cola, the police, and, the feds and all that shit has a psychological effect on a lot of our consciousnesses. Like, a lot of us don't even want to say, like, do anything about it, because they might get thrown in the hospital. At one point, I didn't want to fucking, do the megaphone shit until I fucking, I got to a point to where I got tired of them, and I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna expose them and shit. I was at the point, like, I didn't want to get thrown into fucking jail for fucking being some fucking nutcase that they fucking try and paint up. But, you know, they lit the fire with the VTA shooter. They, they lit the fire, and they've been fucking with me, and, you think about that shit, and it's like, fuck that, you motherfuckers lit the fire now. I don't care what you do to me. I'm at the point, where I expect you motherfuckers to kill me, so anything else you do to me, like, I don't even give a fuck. Like, that's the least of my fucking worries at this point. But there was a time, like, I didn't want to fucking do no shit like that, because I didn't want to be on no fucking, I didn't want to, the way I felt like, maybe we all could do it, but one person, like, they'll hurry up and throw me in the nut house. But fuck, man, I'm at my limit now, so I don't care too much. And then I've been studying like what you can do, like that you can protest shit, like, and it's certain things that if you say them, it's gonna sound crazy, and but if you're putting facts out there, they can't step on that. They can't step, but they can get mad all they want. They can try and send some fucking intimidators your way or some shit like that, but as far as taking you to jail or putting you in a nut house and shit, they can't do that. But I was blind to that shit until I reached the point to where I just didn't give a fuck no more. Like I still would have, I still would have been like that. Like, man, I ain't trying to go to jail. Fuck that shit. And, and it's crazy, man. That's how they're fucking. That's how they changed the weather. Like they literally fucking. They evolved me from one state of mind just off one thing that they did. Like, and they evolved my whole fucking consciousness. Like they control my fucking. In some ways it's good because it motivates me to fucking look into shit. That that can help me battle what they're doing. And right now, using that megaphone, man, that's the best fucking thing going. I swear, like, if all targeted individuals had one, and whenever they follow you with the one headlight, get on that motherfucker and let people know all around you that this is a domestic terrorist. Fucking, that alone, that fucking alone, man, it works miracles. It works. They're still gonna do what they do because they're gonna act like it's not bothering because they want to fucking make you think like what you're doing, you know. So you'll still get them. They're not gonna completely stop. And especially while you're doing it, that's when they're gonna really hit you because they want to get it into your fucking consciousness that what you're doing isn't bothering them. But trust me. Whenever I get on it, they hit me even harder with the one headlights. Like they'll hit me with the one headlights. I'll be on the megaphone saying they're domestic terrorists. It'd be a fucking, cop driving by with one headlight or a VTA driving with one headlight. But that's like to hit me with the brick. They want to hit me with the brick right there to make me hopeless right there to make me feel like it's hopeless and shit. If it's like if they can bluff you, they can beat you. If you don't let them bluff you, and you just go on with your head, go on with your state of mind with whatever the fuck you finna do, just keep doing it. Don't let them break you. Don't let them break you. They get mad at a motherfucker. And the only thing I will say is they will get mad and they'll start fucking harassing you a little bit more. But it's like, fuck, you're getting the information out there. You're getting the motherfucking information out there. What they're doing is not too much. I mean, it's really not too much more they can do than they're doing to us. I mean, there is. They can go super, super, super hard, but for the most part, it's like, what the fuck are they doing to us that we don't expect them to do anyway? It's like putting a little bit more pressure on it. You're helping yourself too. Trust me. Like I help my fucking ever since that megaphone is like medicine. That megaphone is like medicine because you're venting out on it as well as you're seeing them. Like they're like cockroaches, man. They're like cockroaches. Like some of them were like with the one tail lights or the one headlights. I'll fucking get on the megaphone and say, "There, don't matter." Some of them be running red lights and some of them be running red lights because they don't want their license plate to get got. And see, I don't get on the megaphone every single time. Like I let them get comfortable, or like when I'm streaming and shit, or just like when I feel like they've done too much and I need to vent out. Like I'll get on the megaphone and shit. And when I do that shit, like they don't ever know. They don't ever know when I'm gonna do it. Like right now, one headlight could pass or one tail light, and I'm not. It's not even phasing me and shit. Like I, I get them when they least expect it, and it be all types of fucking people be running red lights, and that's how you can tell they're doing criminal shit, man. And running red lights, fucking trying to get away, speeding up and shit. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Saying all that to say though that megaphone, it works miracles. And I wouldn't recommend, as long as you do it the right way, as long as you even, not that we're stupid or anything, but look up protesting and shit and listen to people's speeches and shit. I'm not saying to use their speeches or nothing like that, but kind of use that as your guidelines on how to speak, like protesters and shit. Because believe it or not, like for me and my whole fucking perception of everything, I'm not trying to say black people is stupid, but they've dumbed, myself included, they've dumbed the black race down. Like people, like I listen to speeches and I listen to the way black people spoke just coming out of slavery, and they sound 10 times more intelligent. They fucking, they fucking, I don't know. You guys have to see those speeches and listen to them talk to fucking understand what I'm saying. And this is just coming out of slavery, where very few had it. Like they literally had to earn their education or get their education and struggle for their education just coming out of slavery, and they sound 10 times intelligent than we sound today in 2021. And just that alone, like, from what they fucking taught us and from what we see on those fucking, those propaganda TV shows, and you would think that we were talking like fucking abba dabba dabba dooba and all that fucking bullshit, but you get to fucking see reality and the way they really fucking spoke and shit. Like, you be like, damn, man. I think about that shit all the time since I started watching that shit. I be like, damn, they really fucking dumbed us down, man. Like, their whole vocabulary back then is just fucking, it's unbelievable where we're at today. Our whole mindset is all fucked up. But that's another story. I'm saying all that to say. What was I saying all that to say? Oh yeah. If watching those speeches and shit, like you'll get a better way to fucking put your shit out there. And I'm not saying it have to be no Martin Luther King speeches or no shit like that. It could be anybody that you fucking, want to fucking look towards to do a speech or whatever, protest or whatever. Any protesters that you might like. But, you kind of get a way to put it out there, and you kind of know the limits on what you can say and what you can't say. Like, you can't fucking threaten people, tell people you're gonna beat their ass or shit like that. They'll definitely lock you up. I mean, we go with this weirdo touching his butt, talking shit. Listen. Hey, you have a beautiful day. God bless you, brother. Let me see. What you doing, boy? Uh, chill, 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 chill. See. My bad. I'm just scrolling, trying to see where I left off, you guys. And that might, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I gotta go back and sub to a lot of you guys. They for some reason they I keep getting unsubscribed from Vulcan Wolverine. Yeah, that's why I sent you the message. Yeah, you said that videos that no man, I haven't like I literally don't get no fucking link. And some links I get, they'll bounce me right off the link. They'll bounce me off the link, or they redirect me to a whole they redirect me to a whole different YouTube and try and tell me to log in, and I'll try and log in, and then it'll say some error occurred or something. They got the shit jammed up like a motherfucker, man. Usually, if you put them on the YouTube channel, I can get to it. But if you send a link to my phone and shit, it's gonna be hell. Nappy responded as a robot, alien possessed, since she said she reacted emotionally. Maybe a reptile. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's no telling what she was. I know she wasn't. She definitely didn't seem like she was human. I finally got kicked out of the last treatment center housing situation and got in a different one that's more chill, but they keep giving me shitty roommates. Yeah, man, that's the cool thing about that, man, is not being a TI, you still get those fucking shitty roommates, man. You get motherfuckers that want to be, they throw that brainwashing shit in you, which I mean, it's good information if they don't use it to try and control you. Like they know exactly what they're doing is fucking, you telling you, okay, well you gotta tell on people because that's the only way you're gonna change your life. Like if you don't tell on people, what type of change are you making? Okay, but it's kind of conflicting, but you don't you don't put nobody in a position of power because they in the places that I've been, like as far as the treatment centers and shit, they always got about 3 or 4 residents that they give a walkie-talkie to, and you know it never fails. Those fuckers, they're like super junkies, man. They're like fucking. You see them motherfuckers. The cool thing about it, you see them back in jail, like back when I was going to jail, and because they used to, you know, uh, like sometimes when we want to, well, we use that to beat our cases and shit. Not beat our cases, but you know, like if you didn't want to do jail time, you had the choice of fucking, going to an in-house place to where it had to be a living, it had to be a residential, and so you'll have to go there and go to fucking meetings and all that shit, and they always have like 4 or 5 fucking residents, if you will, with walkie-talkies and clipboards, like fucking school monitors, and they're like super snitches, man. They're like fucking the super snitches of them all. Swear to God, they've changed their lives, and they'll tell you if you don't want to change your life, then You know, they'll talk to you like a regular fucking counselor or some shit. Like they have that much fucking power over you. Like they won't get too far out of line, but they'll say smart shit like, "Well, it's not my problem. You don't want to change your life." You know, I've been through like 3 or 4 of those fucking places, man, and it never fails. You always see, all of them but one back in jail, back fucking in jail, and it's like, man, I mean, I wasn't the type to do that shit too. Like I would just fucking, I would look at him and be like, yeah, I know, motherfucker, yeah. You back on the drugs, huh? But I wouldn't say nothing as far as like I just let them run into their own fucking brick wall because it wasn't important enough to fucking, get them beat up for fucking running around fucking snitching in recovery homes and shit. But it's like fuck, man. You do all this shit. You want to change your life. I understand that, but you talk to other people like you just fucking know your life is gonna fucking change. Like you're not gonna have some fucking drawback to fucking make you what do they call it? Relapse. Like you think you're not gonna keep doing what you're doing if you're not gonna relapse. Keep doing what you're doing if you're not, but if you're gonna relapse, man, all that fucking super duty, like you could be a cow, you could be, all that shit. Don't fuck, you shouldn't do that because you could get yourself in a tight spot. Like, you do that type of shit when you just know you're never going back to jail again. You're never, because the people you treat like shit, no, most of the people that you treat like shit in those places are like people who have been mandated by court to fucking go to those places and shit. Everybody just don't come in from the street and pay money like top dollar for those programs. Some of those programs, people, you never know who you're in there with. You could be in there with a fucking doctor, a fucking movie star. You could be in there with any fucking body. So I definitely, saying all that to say, I definitely know how that shit is dealing with those motherfuckers, man. They always have some type of fucking, they're really in contact with that inner child they talk about, like that, and they become that inner. Once you throw a walkie-talkie and a clipboard in their hand, they become that inner child. Like there's no more adult to them. Like they become tattletale. They follow you around. They look for you to do anything wrong so they can fucking tell you like, ooh, you did that. Like they become that kid that they fucking tell you that isn't locked inside of you, locked away. You have that inner child locked away. They get that walkie-talkie, they become that fucking inner child, I swear. Whatever you do, stay away from the walkie-talkie and clipboard. It might even got a whistle. I don't remember if they have whistles, but I think I think they might have a whistle as well. Ooh. Yeah, they know the mind. Like everybody isn't gonna. They do. Everybody isn't gonna. Like you can't get anybody to walk around with that shit. You can't just. They can't. They don't. They analyze people in there. They analyze people. They have their fucking psychologists and all that shit. So they know the people to stick you. They don't even have to pay a lot of the people to even gang stalk you because they know the mentality and the mindset of a lot of these fucking weirdos. And they just stick you in the room with a motherfucker that's a weirdo. And if they see he's getting on your nerves, good. We're gonna get that fucking weirdo walkie-talkie and clipboard now. Just building. That's all they do is they build off our fucking anger. And build and build and fucking build. They see it gets us angry, they fucking attach something else to it. Who knows what that man who went and killed his next door neighbors had to go through when they were doing their bullshit. Who knows how long he had to deal with that bullshit. And I can guarantee you every single, like if I was fighting this shit in court, I would fucking revert all the fucking stories of this gang stalking shit. Like the people who fucking died and killed behind this program. And I would ask my lawyer if he could get every single one of their fucking phone calls to the police department. They always say, you know, why, and I would, you know, it would be a good damn bet that they were getting gaslit over the phone. Just the same shit they do to us. I know they've done shit to me, like, where's it, people, this is unbearable shit. But they try and hide those police calls. They don't want the public seeing that they called in for help. Say that you know they're still investigating. We're still investigating what's going on. Nah, you ain't investigating. Get the fucking phone calls, you piece of shit. Get the fucking phone calls and put those on the fucking TV. You wanna put all your fucking opinions on the fucking TV, you piece of shit. Put the fucking, and they're not even their fucking fault. They're not even your opinions. They're just made up propaganda bullshit. But put those fucking police calls. Put every single one of any targeted individual that committed suicide, killed anybody, all that shit. And, you know, put their fucking phone calls on there, on the news as well. And then everybody will see, damn, these people are reporting the same shit. And the police, they're not doing anything. Then they'll see how this network really works. They're not putting no real fucking evidence out there. They're creating the whole fucking scenery for everybody. The guy burnt it. This is what they said about the VTA shooter. And of course, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But they said this man lit his fucking house on fire. And had enough time to get to the fucking VTA and go do whatever he did there. Now, I don't I don't know. And I don't, you know, particularly care to anybody else's opinion. I mean, you know, we all have our opinions, and I respect a person's opinion, most definitely, but there's no way in the world that you're gonna convince me that that man lit his house on fire. Probably where, you know, ain't no telling how long he's been in this program and how much evidence he has on those people locked away in his fucking house. Probably numerous numerous amounts of evidence. I mean, me myself, I would think he left some of that evidence behind that they didn't want the fucking, that they didn't want to fucking. And this is just if I was an investigator, a real one, and not a fucking a bullshit one set in place by them. It's a lot of fucking evidence, like hardcore evidence, before he goes and kills 8 people and then himself. I mean, I would think he want to leave some of that evidence behind. Now, moving on to another part of the thing, where they said he knew exactly what he was going for, who he was going for. He let some people go. Now, in my mind, okay, he let some people go. He knew exactly who he was going for. These must be the people who were harassing him. The people who he let go were people that he consciously knew weren't harassing him. He wasn't a bad person. He didn't want to just kill anybody. So, why in the fuck would he plant a fucking bomb? Why in the fuck would he plant a bomb in the same place that they said he let some people go? He knew exactly who he wanted to get. Well, that's because they wanted to paint terrorism on this man. Like I said, the subconscious, when you hear bomb, automatically your subconscious goes to fucking terrorism. So we'll blame terrorism on him. We'll get everybody to think he's a fucking terrorist. He sets his house on fire, where most of the evidence probably is. He puts a bomb in a place where he let some people go and killed a specific people that was targeted. Like, this is where the case just doesn't add up. This is where the case doesn't add up. And you're not gonna run this shit on me. I'm gonna fucking investigate it. If I'm a good investigator. But if I'm one that's in their pocket, then yeah, I'm gonna go with the fucking the propaganda bullshit. But it's just that type of shit right there, man. That shit just really doesn't add up. On top of the fact that, mind you, that's not the only thing that's pretty fishy. There's one more very, very fishy thing to the story. The guy that was consoling each one of those people's family members. There was a man that worked at the VTA. He was consoling every person's family member that died. That him committing suicide after trying to console their family members and shit. That sounds fishy. Because the people in VTA know what they did made that man do what he did. And that guy knows that what they did made him do what they did. And they've already painted he had mental issues. If that guy would have bummed, they didn't know. They didn't know what that guy was going back to those family members as he's trying to console them, going back to those family members and telling them. He could be telling them about the program. He could be divulging everything. And VTA is the bloodline of this fucking city and a whole bunch of connecting cities out here. VTA is the fucking highest profiting fucking thing other than parking tickets. VTA is the fucking, the bread and meat of this fucking city right here. Other than the technology and shit, but this fucking VTA has been here since damn near the beginning of fucking time. Other than, you know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker, and they have some high price fucking, you gotta pay high price to ride on these fucking trains, and like, you better off taking an Uber. So, million. Just think if people paid one, like they would be fucking. As many people out here fucking live out here, if they got $1 for every person that rode that motherfucker, they would be rich as fuck. So the astronomical prices that they charge for it, they're not taking any chances with that. That's a fucking scheme. That, what do you call that? Whatever they call it. I don't know the name right now. It's passing me up, but that's just like some fucking, a person killing 8 people and then himself behind our harassment and shit. Like we can't let the people get that information. So, me being a sensible person, this man's consoling 8 families, give and take a couple. It's no telling what he's telling those people's families about this program. He's gotta go. He's gotta go. Everybody that's connected with this program, as far as the VTA, the police, just me, I'm just out here, I can't prove anything. But this is a man that participates in the, like, my word and his word are 2 different words. Like, his word is way fucking stronger because he has the fucking knowledge, the inside knowledge of the program that he can fucking tell. Telling how long he's been doing it. So, you gotta get the fuck out of here. He's going to too many fucking families. We don't know what the fuck he's saying to him. We're gonna say he committed suicide. Because, or either that happened, I think either they killed him, or they started fucking harassing him, and he was like, I'm not finna go through this shit. I'd rather die. But as far as him just fucking committing suicide because that dude did what he did, no fucking way in the world. You can't run that one on me. There's no way in the world you can run that on me. Because he wanted to be fucking wasting his time trying to console the families and shit. Why would you console a bunch of other people's family when you're gonna take your life and can't even console your own fucking family? Like, that shit just doesn't add up. But hey, I'm just some homeless dude who recycles. I have a fucking 10th grade education. 10th grade education. I don't know much, but I do know that whole fucking, if I was in the target, that whole fucking case would be sounding fishy as fuck. It's fucked up. Some dude just killed somebody. It was an Asian dude, and Kroger's is a big part. Kroger's is a big part of this fucking gang stalking shit. There's a couple TIs that say every time they go into Kroger's, they get, fucked with. Like, it's no getting away from it when they get in there. They get targeted. People fucking, they say, or this one dude, he say every time he walk into Kroger's, like it's some fucking dude and some fucking girl, that fucking usher him down there every aisle, asking him if they can help him fucking find anything. They'll meet him at the door and say, hey, can we help you find anything? Like, he hasn't even got the fucking basket all the way in the fucking store yet, and they're asking him if they can help him find anything. And then he said, like, all through his fucking mission through the fucking store, like they're playing like hide and seek in the aisles as he's fucking. And I know that fucking feeling, man. I know that feeling. Like, it hasn't been that intense at the fucking stores and shit, but it can get there. It can get there. It's nothing beyond reach about that. And this one Asian dude just killed. I forget. I didn't uh, catch how many people he killed. I think he killed some employees though. And that's the thing people gotta realize, man. People ain't just going in their fucking places of work and killing their fucking employees. These are people who have been fucking, you get backed into a corner. Once you make those police calls, for me, I just give up. I know they're not gonna, I don't let it push me to the point of fucking doing no murder. I just know it's not gonna work. I make the phone calls and I get shit to lock in to where I know they can't manipulate because if I make the phone calls, obviously there's gonna be a recording of my voice if I take them back to the date when I made the fucking phone call, and I voice record my fucking harassments and do my fucking paper trail like that because I've made police reports that they have no idea about. They've given me numbers to the police report and telling me that the fucking, oh, here's this fucking number, you just go get your police report. I'll go back, oh, we have no police report relating to this number. Like, they don't make that shit official. They don't sign it or nothing. They just fucking scribble a number on the fucking a sticky pad and fucking pass you a slice of it after they've written some fucking bullshit number on it. And then you go to turn that number in and they look at you like you're crazy. How many months ago did you report this? Are you sure you reported it with us? And run you through all that gaslight shit. So instead of dealing with that, and saying all that to say, it hasn't pushed me to the point. I haven't been pushed to the point. I've been almost there, close, but not enough to fucking just make that wrong decision. Or in my eyes, it would be right, but I guess in the public's eyes, you could have did more. You could have did more. Motherfucker, I've been going through 11 years of this shit. What the fuck more you want me to do? Psychological warfare. Not no fucking bullshit you go through every fucking day. The regular hardships of life. Like, this is heavy fucking psychological warfare. You try doing this shit. You try doing a lighter version of this shit. And you'll flip out. So don't fucking tell me I could have did more, you fucking weirdo. But yeah, man. Hopefully everybody's doing good out there, man. If I'm missing some of your sorry, I be zoning out. I'm sorry, I be reading some of your guys' questions and shit, and I be fucking trying to answer them, and then sometimes I just zone out from that question. Well, that question fucking, brings up shit, and fucking I zone out. Sorry about that. Um, Artificial heroes, hell yeah, the police. The police are, yeah, they're artificial here. They create the fucking crime. There was one time I had a certain respect for the police, man. At one point in time, like, I never liked the police, but I had a respect for them. Like, I knew they had to do their job. And, based on the fact that I was living on the other side of the fence, if you will, You know, my job was not to get caught, and their job was to catch me. So you have to have a certain respect. Like, you can't fucking. I mean, there's a certain respect for that. But now, all that, we have a job to do and shit. Like, you know, the police, like we need to get security for, like, we need security out here. Like, we don't need, like, give the security people some guns. Don't, you know, well, nah, because then they wouldn't be as humble as they, some of the, you know, they're humble right now. Like, they take it only so far, which is they keep it on a respectful level from the, other than the, I'm not talking about the perps, but I'm talking about just like on some regular shit, like on some regular person shit, not having to deal with it. Um, you know, for the most part, security guards, they you know, they hang in the background. If they see trouble, they might try and intervene, but they're not gonna fucking, you know, hop out, for instance, because they think you're smoking marijuana, so they're not gonna pull you over because they think you're smoking marijuana or some fucking use that type of excuse. They're not on no, you know, they are on weird shit, but they keep their weird shit at a distance and shit. Police, they're just more aggressive with their weird shit. But if you take the police off the streets and put them in charge, they probably get like them. They get that big head. The police ain't out here no more, so you need us. So now I can be an asshole to whoever I want. And I can tell my stupid, goofy jokes in front of the. I could tell my stupid, goofy jokes in front of the clubs every fucking night as we're fucking guarding them and waiting for the club to go out. I can fucking show my presence of force and tell my goofy, stupid jokes and hope the fucking college chicks laugh at them. You real American tough guy. You're a real fucking American tough guy. Oh man, they used to. Some of them jokes didn't even make sense to me. You know, I used to go pick up recycle from this one club. You know, the police be out there probably like 4 or 5 cars deep and shit. Cause they, you know, when the club lets out, they gotta kind of, you know, guide where the people go and shit. So they always be hanging out in front of the club and shit with the people outside in front, the people that were outside smoking cigarettes and shit. And it never failed, there's always some chicks out there. And whenever I got up there, they would say some fucking, you know, it would be resorting to my targeting and shit. But it was always like some fucking goofy jokes and some goofy ass chuckles and shit. Like, and you know, they're always looking for the females fucking, like they fucking gauge their goofiness off the females that laughed at them, the wicked witches that chuckle, or what is it, that hackle. Cause they fucking got this certain hackle about them. Whenever they fucking cackle, they just fucking, you know, increase their fucking goofy ass jokes. I used to look at them and just shake my head like, it's crazy.